let's have some simple understanding that how the spacecraft is launched and how it's landed on the moon. So the launch preparation, I mean, the process begins with the preparation of a spacecraft on Earth. The spacecraft is built, assembled, and rigorously tested to ensure its functionality and resilience. And the next important thing is that the spacecraft is integrated with the launch vehicle, a powerful rocket capable of carrying the payload into the space. The launch vehicle produces the necessary thrust to escape the Earth's gravitational pull. Then the next important point is the launch. I mean, once everything is ready, the launch vehicle ignites its engine, lifting the spacecraft off the launch pad. The spacecraft and it carries the rocket, travels through the Earth's atmosphere. As the rocket stages separate, the spacecraft's upper stage continues the journey into the space. And then the next point comes out to be the trajectory correction. I mean, during the journey to the moon, the spacecraft's trajectory is constantly monitored and adjusted using onboard thrusters. This ensures that the spacecraft is on the correct path and is heading towards the moon with great precision. Then lunar approach. I mean, as the spacecraft approaches the moon, its engines are fired against to slow down its speed and adjust its trajectory to the lunar capture. This process involves precise calculations to enter the moon's gravitational sphere of influence. Then comes the lunar orbit insertion. I mean, upon reaching the moon, the spacecraft performs a critical burn of its engine to enter the lunar orbit. This places the spacecraft in a stable path around the moon, allowing mission operators to plan subsequent descent phase. Now the next important thing is the descent preparation. I mean, before descending to the lunar surface, the spacecraft systems are thoroughly checked, and mission control verifies that all the systems are correctly functioning. Then comes the descent initiation. The spacecraft's engines are ignited again to initiate the descent from the lunar orbit towards the intended landing site. This phase requires careful control to ensure that the spacecraft remains on its designated trajectory. And then comes the powerful descent. During the powered descent, the spacecraft engines fires continuously, reducing its velocity and with altitude. The descent profile is precisely calculated to ensure a controlled and gradual approach to the lunar surface. And then comes the hover phase. I mean, as the spacecraft nears the surface of the moon, it enters a hovering phase where its descent rate is slowed significantly. This phase allows the spacecraft's sensors and cameras to assess the landing site conditions and adjust for any kind of obstacle that might be there. Then there is terrain mapping and selection. I mean, advanced imaging systems such as cameras, LiDARs, provide real-time data on lunar surfaces features. This information aids the spacecraft's navigation system in selecting a safe and scientifically interesting landing sites. And then comes the final descent. I mean, this is the most dangerous one. In the final moments before landing, the spacecraft's engines are carefully throttled to achieve a gentle touchdown onto the lunar surface. Then the final thing is the touchdown. I mean, upon touching the lunar surface, the spacecraft's landing gears, they absorb the impact, ensuring safe and controlled landing. This prevents damage to the spacecraft's structure and scientific instruments. And then once it lands, then we have post-landing activities. After landing, the spacecraft performs checks to ensure the stability and operational readiness. It deploys antennas, communication systems, and scientific instruments to begin its mission on the lunar surface. And then comes the part of communication with the Earth. I mean, the spacecraft establishes a communication with the mission control on Earth, allowing telemetry data, images, and other critical information to be transmitted. And then comes the mission, the finality with the successful landing and communication established. The spacecraft commences its journey. It commences its mission activities, which may include surface exploration, scientific experiments, data collection, and transmission back to Earth. I would like to say that launching and landing a spacecraft on Moon is meticulously planned and executed. I mean, that involves careful calculations, real-time adjustments, advanced sensors, a sequence of precise maneuvers. The successful coordination of these steps results in the safe delivery of the spacecraft to the lunar surface for scientific exploration and discovery. And we are all aware about the fact that India has successfully landed its spacecraft on the south pole of Moon, and it's a moment of pride. It's a moment of celebration for science, at least, because we are moving in a direction, even though there are lots of constraints out there, but still we are in a position to make such